This is the best episode of Titans yet. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on Titans Episode 4, episode Aqualad. So it makes us delve back into the past on what happened to the Titans and what made them disband, which I'm very glad for that the creators didn't waste any time to show us this and see exactly in full detail what happened to the Titans in the past, the fate of Aqualad, and what made them decide to break up the team. But not only was it the fact that they showed us the fate of Aqualad, it also got to let us see the Titans for who they're known for. They're known as a team of superheroes who are friends, and when they're on the job, they have amazing teamwork, and when they're off the job, they're in the tower having some fun. And that's exactly what, no doubt, most of us, especially old Titans fans, were looking for in this season, or better yet, in this series as a whole. Now, me, I do like the new Titans 2.0. But the only reason they don't feel just as much generic as the old Titans is because, well, Grayson's more like a mentor to them, while Jason Raven and Garfield are like his people. He's trying to train them and be ready. That's why they don't really feel exactly like the old Titans do, because they're just new and they're just starting out on this thing. So it's going to take a while before they end up being like a family there. But something tells me it will start to come out once the series goes on, that the Titans 2.0 will become just like the old Titans. But now let's go ahead and get right on into the old Titans and Aqualad, who, by the way, the guy who plays the character of Aqualad did an amazing job. He killed it as Aqualad. I just believed every moment of him and how he was using his powers and how he was being how Garth is in the comics. And I've read a few comics with Garth in it, and yeah, that's pretty much similar to how Garth acted within a few iterations of things I've seen him in like Teen Titans animated series and in Young Justice, and within some of the comics I've seen, such as Titans and from DC Rebirth. Yes, he does a great job at it, but what I definitely love is his and Donna Troy's relationship and how dramatic and complicated it was. So, we have Aqualad, who has made it obvious he loves Donna Troy, and while Donna Troy is obvious she loves him too, but she just is being stubborn and thinking, no, I shouldn't be in a relationship, not with the destiny I have of becoming a full-blown Amazon warrior soon, because it turns out in the past she only decided to be a part of the Titans because, well, she wanted to get the experience because she was young. She wanted to get the experience of being with other people her age and having some fun and working together with a team of superheroes who are her age and stuff. And no doubt she was enjoying it all, but it started to get to the moment where like, since she was starting to see her feelings for Garth really start to surface to the point where she was gonna be with him and stuff, instead of going for it, she decides to keep running away from it. Every time he kept trying to make him a move with her and try to finally solidify their relationship, she kept doing something to dodge it. And she really decided to dodge it by making up an excuse to go see Julia, no doubt like a sort of contact person for her and Diana, since Diana allowed her to be with the Titans for at least 6 months. That's what she said. And she would try to make up the excuse saying she was young when she was doing that, and she wants to change her mind and just leaves right away. Of course, Julia knows that she's just lying and saying that because she knows the real reason that she wants to leave now is because of Garth, because she's afraid to commit, or better yet, to go ahead and make a move here. And it's kind of funny here, because back in Season 1, you were seeing how Donna Troy was criticizing Grayson on his dating skills and stuff. well, all I can say here is that we see a little bit of Grayson and Dawn's relationship. And at least you can say that at least Grayson has the guts to just make the move and just go for it. Donna Troy, though, she's like, no, it's a bad idea. I don't want to do this. And yeah, it sounds like I'm bad-mouthing Donna Troy, but no, I'm not. I'm just saying how great the acting was and how she's making this all so dramatic when it's really not that hard to just give it a shot, because later on in the episode they do just that. They do give it a shot in that very moment when she's about to have her last day there and go back with Julia. She decides to sleep with Garth, and they finally look like they could have been in that relationship. But she was like, since I'm leaving, why not do it and then just leave and pretend like it never happened. Smooth, Don, very smooth. But luckily, like, Grayson was already told about it, because Grayson and Donna Troy are best friends, so of course she's gonna tell him about it before she leaves. But since she didn't tell Garth, she put Grayson in that spot where, like, after sleeping with her, Aqualad was all satisfied and happy, and man, you could see the joyness in his heart knowing that finally they looked like they were together. And you could see Grayson being like, Don, why did you have to put me in this position? Because I definitely know what a position like that is like. You gotta hate your friends for making you put you in this position, but hey, that's how it is sometimes. But luckily, Grayson told Garth about it, and he wasn't about to let her get away with just sleeping with him and just leaving just like that, because he was just tired of her getting so scared of trying things out that he just went out and told her how he felt, and then he was like, yes, if you can't do it, then don't do it, or something like that. All I just know is, in that scene, I was just lost in that scene that I couldn't really think so much, because what powerful acting and expressions they were giving off there. And I especially loved how Julia was looking at it almost like, somebody give me a wine or some popcorn or something, because this is just too good. Unfortunately, though, as we all knew, this was about the fate of Aqualad, so we knew that this was about to end badly, especially when Donna Troy finally submitted and just decided that, yes, I choose to be with you, because that's when Deathstroke came out and made his move, and Garth's back was turned until he turned around, bang, he's dead and out. It looked like he was there to kill both Titans, which I wonder why, because we all know Deathstroke, he doesn't do something without being given a contract. So I am curious on that. Why did he go after the Titans? Who sent him the contract to go after the Titans? I am a little curious about that. But with all curiosity on that being aside, what really started to explain the dark path these old Titans took, that it was shown in season 1, really explains a lot. Because after Garth was murdered by Deathstroke, and after Grayson found out who Deathstroke was, you could just look at each of those Titans and you could see the change in demeanor of them, because they were now gonna be hunting for Deathstroke, and they were out for vengeance, and they looked like they were gonna go into a much darker path, because, well, Deathstroke killed a friend of theirs, and they want him to pay. So this really could explain how the Titans were back in season 1, which makes me think that maybe this should have been part of season 1 and stuff. But then of course, like, it wouldn't have made sense along with what they were already having with season 1. But even still, I'm sure most of y'all still feel that way. Feel that some way or another this should have been introduced in season 1 to explain why people like Grayson in season 1 and Hawk and Dove in season 1 were so dark and violent and everything. Because yes, what I definitely also loved about this part was how it explained what Dawn what Dawn said in the trailer and telling Grayson, now's the time, be Batman. Because earlier in the episode, she didn't want him to be Batman because they didn't lose anybody and they were all having fun, good time, just like the Titans usually are. But when Deathstroke had murdered a friend of theirs, they were all filled with vengeance and wanted to beat him down. That Donna Troy was like, now's the time for you to be Batman. Now's the time for you to embrace that darker side of yours, so you can find Deathstroke and make him pay for what he did to Garth. And boy, it looks like that's what they were doing because not only in this episode did we get Garth, and we also did get to see Deathstroke himself before he went after the Titans. We got to see his professional career as a hired mercenary and how he does his job very well. That when he's given a target, he shows success in how he does it. How he assassinated what seemed to be two lawyers, one going into what looked like City Hall, one in a prison, and then some sort of judge or priest or something. He doesn't go down without a fight. He doesn't go down that easily. And just like in last episode, his mere presence alone, this guy, Isa Morales, he is amazing as Deathstroke. He's beautiful, and once again, he doesn't really talk that much. He doesn't need to. Dude, this guy is unbelievable as Deathstroke. And still, that suit, man, do I love that suit. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Erebos suit was cool too, but if we're talking about menacing presence here, this one really does it. After Deathstroke in the early episodes, did his original assignments, he had an assignment to go kill the Titans in San Francisco. But before doing that, well, he paid a visit through a viewpoint of his son Jericho and his ex-wife, Adrienne. I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember her name off the top of my head there. I apologize. But yes, we got the live debut of Jericho and Slade Wilson's ex-wife. And yes, let me just first off say that the guy who's playing as Jericho, he's doing an amazing job. I mean, even though, like, say, you're new here, you only know a little about Jericho, so you only know a little bit about Jericho and don't know much about him. Well, I think this episode really helps you at least in knowing something. For one, when we first see him, you can already see the scar where his throat is slit, where it makes him unable to talk. And the guy who's playing as Jericho, he's doing a great job of showing Jericho's characters. You see, since Jericho can't talk, he had to learn sign languages and stuff. And the way this guy pulls off the sign languages is amazing. And yes, every time I kept seeing this guy, I'm like, this guy really is pulling it off as Jericho. He's doing pretty good. I really liked what they were doing here. But this is also where the Titans' darker side was starting to show, because we only saw Jericho at the beginning of this episode, and then again at the end of the episode where he met Grayson, and it was clear that this is all just a setup by the Titans so they can get to Deathstroke. They found out Jericho is Deathstroke's son, and they're trying to use him to get the Deathstroke. This actually makes you see something else about Deathstroke that we're seeing in the present time with Titans 2.0. It turns out that, because here's the thing, if you guys remember in episode 1, when he saw that news saying the Titans are back, you saw how the demeanor in him changed and how he was living just a normal life and stuff. And when he heard those words, Titans are back, you could just feel the demeanor change in him, with vengeance swirling up in him to the point where he went to Wintergreen to get all his old stuff here. So that makes me think that Jericho, unfortunately, yes, died in the past. Because I was thinking Rose Wilson was saying that in last episode, all as a lie, really, and that Jericho really is still alive in the present. And that's also a part of me that's saying I wanted him to be in the present because I wanted to see him and his sister interact with each other. But it turns out it doesn't look like that. Instead, it looks like with the Titans wanting revenge against Deathstroke for what he did to Garth, it makes them use him as a plan to get to him. But unfortunately, the plan goes sideways. and Death and Jericho dies in the process, and that's what really set off the Titans to just break up completely. So definitely, that's what it's looking like, and I can't wait to see the next episode, because it looks like it's going to be a continued flashback. At least I think so, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw the synopsis, and it said that we're going back to the present timeline, where Deathstroke has been captured. All I know is that at least we're getting clues and hints here on why Deathstroke is after the Titans here. And it isn't pretty. But, oh yes, one more thing also I forgot to mention was Dr. Light was also in this episode, and it introduces the Titans' first encounter with him. And well, there wasn't really much to it other than the fact that the Titans found him and they beat him down. But what I did like in that scene was that it showed the teamwork of the old Titans that just reflected what we saw in last week's episode, and that is the Titans' teamwork, showing that even though the old Titans don't want to be the Titans anymore or even get the team back together, it doesn't change the fact they still got it as a team, and yes, they really do. But I've been rambling on for enough there, guys. And I just want to thank everyone who's been supporting me for every video I make out there. You guys are amazing. Thanks for all the help and support and helping me as I work to get better at my videos and stuff. So I can't help but thank you all, my subscribers and those who are supporting me, for all those YouTubers out there. Thank you. But until then, guys, I'm going to leave it at that for now. And if you're enjoying my videos, all you got to do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!